Welcome to SlamCast, where we chat with creatives about their process and how they navigate the grind of promoting themselves. We're your hosts. I'm Brea.
And I'm Neil. We're both producers and studio technicians here at Slam Academy, a music production school based in Northeast Minneapolis.
And today we're here with Jen Symmetry, a bass-driven producer, DJ, and promoter. Let's go, Jen.
Hey, what's up? I'm so happy to be here.
Thanks for coming and carving out some time in your morning. You're a busy gal.
Yeah, it's okay. I like hanging out too.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to get into the nitty-gritty with you. And first of all, I want to just take us back to baby Jen Symmetry and see where the inception of that all happened.
I got into electronic music in high school, so I've been listening to it for a really long time. But I started DJing in college because it was just everywhere. I don't know. I went to an art school, so lots of people had turntables. And
did you play any instruments or anything in high school, or have any other musical stuff before DJing?
That's a good question. I did. I actually had a pretty significant musical training experience before I got into electronic music. I was into musical theater.
Yeah, me too.
Singing?
Really?
Yes, huge choir nerd.
Nice, me too. I did pop choir. I learned how to read sheet music. I played the piano. I took 5 years of piano lessons as a child. I was really into Tori Amos before I got into electronic music. And so, yeah, I already kind of understood music, but when I heard electronic music for the first time, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is everything.
Yeah. Great. And yeah, so I started DJ. I actually got involved with my college's FM radio station. I went to Emerson College, and they had a pretty popular FM radio station because they're a big broadcasting college. So they put a lot of money into their studio and somehow got that. And I hosted their late night electronic music radio station. And there were all these records from CMJ and all this stuff, really cool stuff. Photech and John B and a bunch of other drum and bass stuff. So I was listening to that. And I also knew a bunch of kids who liked drum and bass at the time.
Around what year was this?
This was 2001, 2002. So a long time ago.
Cool.
So yeah, I was getting into it, and really, I liked a lot of different electronic music at the time, but I was DJing at the time, just trying to get my feet wet, playing at 9 p.m. slots at bars and things like that. So I was pretty bad. That's where I started out, though, in Boston, opening up, playing vinyl.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where you grew up? Boston.
I actually grew up here. I went to college in Boston.
Okay.
So
cool.
I came back here 2003, 2004.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I can't remember.
Did you come back here as a DJ at that point?
I did.
Wanting to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So basically I was playing a lot of different genres in Boston, but when I came back to Minneapolis, I was it was really hard to break into the drum and bass scene in Boston as a DJ. So when I came back to Minneapolis, I was I just want to play drum and bass. I'm going to market myself as that. And obviously you got to have I guess not pigeonhole yourself, but you just got to be specific with your marketing, you know?
Yeah.
So, that's when I got booked for drum and bass gigs in Minneapolis. I was lucky. I feel like people were like, oh, wow, a girl who plays drum and bass. This is not normal.
Sure. Lean in.
Yeah. And I got some things for that. Yeah.
Anyway.
Nice. What was the scene like here in Minneapolis when you moved back in the drum and bass?
It was really big. Yeah. For a couple years, it was really big. There was this, Sim was throwing a lot of drum and bass shows. JT was still in charge of that. And we had DJ Hype, he's really old. He was old back then. So I don't know. He probably does. I don't know. I think he does still play in the UK. But John B came here a bunch of times. DJ Hive. He booked a lot of Bad Company came through, and there would be 300, 400 kids at the shows or raves or whatever.
Nice.
And it had like it was like the end of the golden era that I saw the drum and bass scene and then it really fell off for a while. But yeah.
And then it came back recently, or when would you say like the resurgence happened of drum and bass?
I think it's been bubbling for a while. It was really dead around 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Sure.
I don't know what was happening. Like I actually left Minneapolis at this time and I wasn't really paying attention and I wasn't DJing for a while.
Mhm.
But when I came back here, I was pleasantly surprised. Actually, after COVID, I think is when it really
Yeah.
started exploding.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
you can't not have someone playing it now. I've seen a lot at a lot of shows nowadays.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's cool though. It's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, it's back.
And so you also produce your own music, right?
Yes.
Cool. And so did you DJ'd before you got into production, or how did that transition happen?
Yeah. I DJ'd for a long time. I actually started producing in 2006 and 2007. I don't remember, like it's so long ago.
Yeah.
Sometime at some point, but I wasn't using I was just transitioning into CDJs and I didn't really understand that I'd be able to play my own music. So I kind of quit
Sure.
because
Yeah.
record labels were still very unattainable. I didn't know any women who did it even. So I felt like maybe it's going to be extra hard. And I was already kind of getting recognized for my DJing. So I'm like, I'll just be a DJ. It's fine. I even wrote some full tracks and
Yeah.
just quit because it seemed really hard to do anything with it. So I kind of knew how to produce, but I didn't do it for a long time. And then during COVID, I picked it back up again and I was like, oh, I remember a lot of this stuff and it's way easier now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was using Reason before and Pro Tools, and you had to like fade every single little clip you did. Otherwise, it would crackle. Like you couldn't just. It was like so time consuming to cut stuff up, and it was like you got good at it, but like everyone
didn't like doing it.
No, it was all crazy. So in a way, I'm glad I saved my wrists.
Yeah.
But yeah, I produce now probably, I think the first labels I was on was maybe like a year and a half ago. I think I got a couple label releases. So
oh, nice.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Oh, really?
Nice. Congratulations.
Cool. Thanks.
So are you using Ableton now?
I am.
Cool.
Yep.
She's over on the dark side.
Yes. Do you guys use that too?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to start with Ableton because I didn't start making music until after the pandemic or during the pandemic as well. So
right on.
Neil showed me Ableton and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I need to learn this.
Mm-hmm. And I've been using. I got into Ableton because all my favorite producers were using it when I started producing. So
right on.
Yeah.
I think it's the best.
Yeah. Whenever I open up other DAWs, I'm like, why don't you do this easy thing Ableton is doing right now, type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very easy a very easy landscape to navigate.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So are you working anywhere else besides being a musician to kind of bridge the gap, or are you a full-time musician?
I am not a full-time musician. I actually, what I was doing on my break was just a bunch of stuff, but one of the things was going to school for acupuncture. So
Cool.
I run an acupuncture business during the week. I work 4 days a week. And since I work for myself and I'm just a sole proprietor, it's nice for the flexibility as long as I can plan ahead for the musician stuff. But it's big. It's like a big, I don't know. I feel like my schedule is really busy. So.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Where does your business reside? Like what city?
Yeah, it's Southwest Minneapolis. I see patients there all the time. I work out of a wellness center with other practitioners. So
sure,
yeah.
So so let's kind of shift back into DJing a little bit. You're about to play a set. Do you build sets before sets? Do you go crate digging a little bit here and there? Do you do a lot of your freestyle type of thing? How do you plan for an event?
Yeah, everything's a little different. Like if I'm really stressed out for a gig, I know there's going to be a lot of people there. I'll probably plan most of it, but I have a way of doing it where I organize things really, like, this is not what I'm doing for tonight, by the way, but
Yeah.
I'll just go from like most involved to least involved.
Mm.
I'll put a bunch of tracks together in a playlist, and it'll go by BPM and key, and it'll be more tracks than I need for any particular set. And it'll be a couple different styles, but I'll familiarize myself with, like, I'd say 80 tracks for an hour, which is a lot. I probably would use half of those, or maybe a little more than half, but, or,
Okay.
you know, you can play a lot of songs in an hour now, but, yeah. So basically, if the vibe changes or you're like, oh wow, 140 is really working here, I'll stick with that longer. Because if I just go with the program, even if it's like a real high stress or like high profile thing, there's a lot of times that I've just planned the whole thing out and people are like really vibing to a, like, just techie drum and bass or dubstep, or like they really like electro. And then I'm like, I don't have anything extra. I got to move on to the next stuff now. And you're like, damn, this is not a good move.
No.
Like people are like way in the zone and I'm just going to rip them out of it. And I got to look in another folder, which I hate doing in front of people. Like I can do that and I will.
That's a very good tip, though, right there. I really like what you said there, is have more than you'd need in genres as you go through, because I do a lot of more pre-planned sets, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in front of a lot of people just to make sure I'm doing the right stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, shoot, you're right. It's like, they really like this downy, weird stuff down here. And good tip, guys.
Thanks.
Jen, I love that one for sure.
Yeah, because I think, people are like, oh, DJs just know how to read the crowd. And I'm like, well, the one thing is you can't read people's minds, but you can see when people are having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So do more of that if they're having a good time. And you can be more of that and what you like. I think you have to play what you like too.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're not having a good time and they're kind of having trouble, just get out of that vibe really fast and move somewhere else. But have lots of things planned, because people are going to vibe with some of it.
Yeah,
just stick with that.
Right.
So, or else they wouldn't put you on stage if they didn't think you'd get people not to vibe. So
right. But, like tonight, it's 8:30 and it's my night. So people kind of, we know what people do. Generally, when they come to mechanics, they're just there to have fun. They will vibe to lots of different stuff. We've had everything from dubstep to breakbeat hardcore to juke to breaks to neurofunk to jungle. So we get, and people are pretty okay with almost all of it. So tonight, I have some new like electro and dubstep, and I'll probably get into some jungle.
Cool.
And I'll just go off some of the playlists that I already made and some of my new stuff that I organized. So
are you going to be playing any original tunes?
I will play a couple original tunes tonight. Yeah, probably. I just released my remix of DJ Odie's Luna on vinyl last night, and it sold out.
Congratulations!
Nice.
Wow, and it sold out.
Yeah, well, it was like a limited edition dub plate, but
I mean, that's how you sell them out.
Yeah,
let's go.
So I'll probably play that just because I feel like that's the end of an era, because I've been like promoting this track forever, because it came out on digital version, and then last night was the vinyl, and it's just been going over really well. So I'll probably like give it a break so I don't get sick of it after tonight, maybe.
For sure.
And I just had a release on Rolled Up Records, which was a jungle track, and I'll probably play that. I actually don't, because I'm playing early, so I feel like, and since it's my night, I'll probably just do what people want to do. But I'll probably play it tonight. That release actually wound up on the Beatport top 5, like it was in the 5th out of the top 10 in drum and bass releases for like 4 days in a row, which was really cool.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, the whole release, not just my track, but all 10 tracks on the compilation.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Well, you were on that compilation.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So then it sounds like all your musical background's helping you produce now music that is like gets you some. Like, it doesn't sound like it's like you're putting out a track and no one's hearing it.
Yeah, mostly not. Yeah.
That's because you've been DJing for so many years. You probably just have an ear for dope sounds too, then.
I mean, hopefully. Yeah. At the beginning, it felt like it was hard, but like I would make something in Ableton and then I'd try to play it and then I'd be like, whoa, this sounds really bad with all the rest of my tracks.
Yeah, you gotta have those moments.
Yeah. But now I don't know. I've just kind of tuned it in where I'm like, you have to fix all those tracks that sound bad. And then you're like, this is what it sounds like to have a track that mixes well with all the other tracks that's, are put out. So
Right.
yeah.
And you can learn how to do that at Slam Academy.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Were you a student here ever?
I was
Okay.
for one, actually just recently, because I hadn't done much formal education.
Yeah.
So I took JP's remix class, and that was super fun. I just
Sweet.
felt like it was just, support and feedback for remixes that we did.
Yeah.
And I ended up releasing that remix on my SoundCloud, Jen Symmetry.
Yeah.
It's My Step. It's the My Step remix from the original is Little Dragon, and I did like a 160 jungle break remix.
Incredible.
Cool.
So, and then I did the next semester or whatever trimester too with Bionic.
Yeah.
And he was so great. I learned so much stuff from him.
He is. It's metaphysical sometimes, the stuff he's teaching you about sound and stuff. It's crazy.
He is great. I was like, whoa, that makes so much sense. And it just
Right.
I latched onto my brain, and now I still do it. So,
Mhm.
but then I don't really have a ton of, I missed probably half of those classes. So I was like, I can't take slam classes right now, but
Yeah.
it was great. I will come back just for fun
For sure.
whenever I can.
Yeah, the community's always here when you're ready.
Yes.
That's
I did
cool.
like it. Yeah.
I want to talk about your Twitch stream too, because you do Throwdown Thursdays, is it called?
No, I don't do Thursday. We used to do Tuesdays.
Okay.
But Throwdown Thursdays, that's somebody else's stream. It's not mine.
Oh, I see.
But I think it's awesome, and you should look it up. I think Raz does it.
Okay.
But I don't do it. I would love to be on the Throwdown or whatever. Never mind. I'm thinking it's Gun Fingers Thursdays. But anyway,
okay.
I don't know.
But do you do the, is it SLPDNB?
Yes.
That's your channel?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
SLPDNB. We streamed a lot during COVID. That was we became affiliates and actually got some money from it. We were completely shocked.
Nice.
But if you get on a lot of raid trains where a big people give all of their followers to you after they're done with their stream.
Yeah.
We kind of got on the popular drum and bass circuits, and a lot of people watched us during that time, and it was super awesome. We did it every Tuesday, and a lot of extra streams too. And yeah, we just kind of got burnt out. So last year, I think we quit doing regular streams, but I'm still on for raid trains and stuff like that. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
How often do you stream now?
I don't have a schedule, but we streamed last night for the release party, which it went over really well.
Cool.
And then I'm streaming for a couple events at the end of June too. And it's just whenever there's some big streamers have big raid trains for their birthday parties or something, and then they'll just ask their friends to play. So I'm going to play for a birthday party, which is, it's
you're playing on Twitch for birthday?
Yeah. It's
Cool.
Twitch. It's only Twitch streamers that do this. I've never actually thrown myself a Twitch birthday raid train, but they'll do it. And then lots of people will tune in because they're happy. And then people buy bits and donate to them. So I guess it's an extra way to make money, but yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find a lot of followers from that experience during COVID online?
Yeah. We are, it's funny because we have 1,700 followers, but I'm guessing a lot of those people don't tune into Twitch anymore because the landscape changed a lot since the world opened up again, including streamers fell off. A lot of people who weren't able to go to clubs would tune into Twitch when they don't usually. And so now it's completely different people on Twitch. So I assume that if we wanted to be as popular as we were on Twitch, we'd have to start regularly streaming again and build it up. But we did find a lot of, there were times when we'd just turn the stream on. We wouldn't even be on a raid train. We'd get 50, 60 people on our channel. And if we had raid trains, I think we've been up to 180 before, which is a lot. I mean, for little independent underground artists.
For sure. Yeah. That's really cool. We had a Twitch stream for a while too that we were doing from Slam, just our group that we would do.
Yeah.
There was 4 of us that would just live loop stuff off.
Oh, cool.
Ableton.
That's awesome.
Also during COVID though, and then once the world opened back up, we're kind of like,
It's a lot of work to
Yeah.
do
It is a
to
lot.
manage a stream.
It's a whole separate world, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Even like managing this, it's like when we started this, it's like, oh, there's a lot of work.
yeah. And stress.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun and like it's really cool to see what comes out of it and everything. But like as we started, and we're like scheduling and planning and
Right.
filming, and it's like, dang, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot more behind the scenes to any process.
For sure.
That people
Yeah,
don't see.
Yeah, agreed.
They're like, I want to do that. I want to be a Twitcher. And then you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Took
I
me
need
3
to
hours to
learn-
set up a OBS.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a frame rate?
OBS. And like, oh my gosh, there were so many like technical hurdles
Oh
we
my
had to at the
God.
beginning.
I wanted to
Yeah.
pull my hair out, bro.
Once we got a raid, it was like we weren't expecting it, of 100 people, and we just set up our Capigen wall, which is the little like explosion emojis that come out, and we were so excited, and it was working just fine. But I guess we set it to like have 1,000 Capigen explosions when we got a raid, and so we're like, oh my God, 100 people who are like super into drum and bass. Let's keep going and streaming, and then like the Capigen started exploding because it was like supposed to be like a celebration, and it just like crashed OBS completely. We're just like, that sucked. That was so disappointing.
There went 100 peeps.
shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. And then that streamer never rated us again. It's like, whoopsie. It's like heartbreaking.
No.
And then they're like, and then like I try to explain it to friends. I'm like, you know, that we were so disappointed because we got this raid train and the Capigen started exploding, and they're like, what the hell are you talking about?
We've
Do you wanna
lost Jen.
It's just no one sympathizing with your stress.
Yeah, right? Oh my God, yeah. Oh, throwback.
Yeah. Oh, COVID.
Oh, wow. You wascally COVID.
Silly. So are you booking your own shows now? You're part of the Mechanics group, right?
Yeah. We've been doing it for 3 years now.
Okay.
Mechanics has been around for 12 years, but we were only in it post-COVID. My husband and I, because, I think because of Twitch, we helped everyone in Minneapolis set up their like drum and bass Twitch streams. So they're like, these people
Nice.
know what they're doing, and they've been part of the community for a long time now. So maybe let's have them be part of the IRL community.
Yeah.
So I think in December 2020, God, I don't know. It might have been 2021. I can't remember. God, I can't remember dates. It's like I'm within a couple years. 2021 or 2022.
That's close.
So it was 2021. Yeah. So then we threw our first in-person show because at a new venue, since Honey was the old Mechanics venue and it closed. So
is that in Northeast?
yeah.
Honey's
now
awesome.
it's called what again? There's
The
like a
new one?
Yeah.
The Eagles.
Okay.
So it's not a club, but
see.
we turn it into a club.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not just me booking it. There's like 10 of us involved. We all have kind of different jobs, but we have a Discord, and we're all it's a very diplomatic, like
Nice.
democratic experience, and we just sort of seem to agree on things for the most part. So we all put it on together. Yeah.
Cool. Is your husband a musician as well?
He is a DJ, but he doesn't have a different music background. But he DJs for Mechanics, and once he goes out of town once in a while too. So,
cool.
Yeah.
And that's who you're doing your stream with, right?
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Just want to connect the dots.
Yes.
For myself.
Before COVID, were you DJing around the cities and stuff too?
Yeah. So I moved back. I was in New York for a long time doing other things. And I came back to Minneapolis to DJ a couple times, like the Further Festival, and I played at Skyway before I didn't play at Skyway.
Not again.
Just for fun, like 2015, 2016 or something. And but other than that, I only DJed like twice in New York. But in 2018 I came back and I was DJing. I think the first time I DJed was for Mechanics as a guest, and then I played at like Rapture for Ground Zero, and I opened up for some people. Vect, they had a show. He's like a DMC champion. So I was playing a lot actually around Minneapolis before COVID. So
cool.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you getting into those shows? Were you just like meeting people at shows and kind of making connections?
I think that people knew me from before I moved. I was in Minneapolis here DJing for other like stuff, 2000 mid 2000s. And all the gigs I got were most of them were from people that I knew back then or people who referred me. So
Heck yeah.
yeah.
I have kind of a silly question, and I don't really know how to phrase it yet, but
Okay.
so you've been doing drum and bass this whole time, right? That's like the main genre of DJing
Pretty much.
that you've
Yeah.
been doing.
Yeah.
And it's very high energy. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's very fast.
Mhm.
It's like 160, 170 BPM, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
How do you find the energy to keep that consistent, I guess? How do you find consistent energy with that high?
Well, it's not more stressful to mix drum and bass for me.
Sure.
I feel like it's the same to mix dubstep or like hip hop. I mean, I don't mix hip hop that much, but if I'm like I have some trap.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like more energy, and I feel like it's actually a little less energy for me to mix drum and bass because I find with that genre, there's more flexibility in ways you can mix a track. So you can just kind of bring one up and you're like, oh, I can try this here. And you're not waiting and thinking too hard about what's going to sound bad. Because sometimes with like breaks and stuff, I think that there's like a right and a wrong. Like, I'm like, you shouldn't do that this way here. But with jungle and drum and bass, I feel like there's more creativity. So I can just sort of like relax and do things when I feel like it.
I see.
It feels normal to me. I don't know. It doesn't feel like too high energy. Plus, there's halftime. I'll throw a lot of halftime in there, and that's chill. That's like 87 BPM, so it's actually a little slower than hip hop a lot of the times. But yeah, it's high energy. I feel like, if I was playing like an art gallery, I wouldn't play.
Oh, right.
You just play
drum and bass.
You play liquid drum and bass.
Exactly. Liquid feels very chill too. I don't know. I think that just because it's a high BPM, I guess this is very subjective because when I listen to music that's 120, like house that's slow, I'm like, I just can't stand this. It drives me.
It sounds like classical music.
Yeah. If I'm on a dance floor, I'm like, no, this is not right. So I think I'm just hardwired to like want faster stuff. Like if I'm starting a like multi-genre set, I'll just start at 136, 137. So it's easier to get everywhere I want to get.
Cool.
Yeah. So it doesn't feel like a lot of energy. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you DJ any like 120, 130 kind of genres like house or tech?
I have techno.
And you can say no, I don't.
Actually, well, okay. I used to play dance church, and so they want it slow. So I would have to go through like they want it slow to fast to slow. They kind of have this arc they want you to do. And so I do. It's funny because basically enough people have left flash drives over at my house that are unclaimed, and I like went through all of the stuff. And there's like a
crate digging.
Yeah. So I like a ton of like electro that's slower. I do faster electro, but like, just a bunch of 4 to the floor stuff that's slower from that. Or I'll buy stuff to, supplement that. And I have played it out before if people wanted it. But yeah, not really. Not if you're gonna see me at a club or something. So,
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you go out to shows yourself as like a listener often?
Yeah. Definitely. I try to support people. All the bass music stuff, all the drum and bass stuff, Communion.
Yeah.
I just went to Infrasound and
nice.
I didn't do anything this time. I just hung out. So
yeah.
It's
good to do that too.
Yeah. And I love it. Like I really like dancing. I will dance. If I can find a groove, I'm not against dancing for hours.
For sure. That's good.
Yeah.
That works well with a DJ career. So.
Yes. I don't understand DJs who like never danced. I'm like, you don't even know what people want to hear. I'd be like, what?
And how do you know how to move to it?
Aren't you having fun up there?
Yeah.
Should I not be having fun out here?
It's crazy. Some DJs look like they're just staring down at the decks and not looking at anybody, not doing anything. It's like, I don't know if I like even doing what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, I actually do have some friends who I've never seen dance in my life, and I've known them for like 20 years. And then they make these like dance floor bangers. And I'm like the only way I know how to make music that's danceable is like literally getting up and being like, okay. Like they just know that, I don't know. They're like accessing their other lives or something where they were a dancer. I'm like, how do you not know how to like dance, but you know how to make dance
They
music?
know the formula.
Yeah.
What is your formula for making dance music? Like when you sit down in front of Ableton?
Oh man, I don't know. It's always different. I feel like lately I've just been like going back and finding all my favorite things from different tracks that I didn't finish and like putting them together. And that's been working really well all year.
Nice.
So, and then I'll make new stuff. I'll like, sometimes I make a bass line that I kind of hate. I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. So I have the courage to come back to a track and like scrap the bass line, but all the atmosphere and drums are like in a good place. So I'm like, cool, I got atmosphere drums. So I got a key.
Yeah.
And I got some cool drums and I could add some more. And now I can just put like a lead and a bass line. That's all.
You have all the elements.
Or I'll do like sound design. I think this is when I like have no idea what I want to do. I'll be like, I don't know, I'm just gonna make some sounds and I'll find a cool sound. I'll wait till I am like moved by a sound that I make, and then I'm like, okay, I'll try to find some things that go well with this. So
I like how you said have the courage to get rid of a bass line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's showing and that I believe is showing growth as an artist, because a lot of people that are newer, is what I've heard and kind of found out in myself, is that you're so married to something you worked on for so long that you don't want to kick it out when it's not fitting the track.
Right.
So once you've already, you're like, F that bass line, we'll put another one in, or at least know that you're not that far away from an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's evolution as an artist, I think.
That's a very good point.
Like knowing that you make garbage, sometimes, and then you can throw it away and put some better stuff in.
Yeah. I was listening to like Quadrant and Iris are a very like popular drum and bass producer duo, and I was listening to one of their podcasts, and they were like, if the snare doesn't sound, if it's just sort of like, I feel like you can like play the intro and at the drop, like don't even let yourself think if something's like, ugh, just like get rid of it. You know what I mean? Because other people are going to be that way too.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's icky to you for that 1 second, it's not going to be worth it.
Yeah. Like tweak it maybe for a little bit. But if you're like, I don't know, like don't spend all day.
Yeah.
No.
Just, I don't know.
Move on.
Yeah. There's a million sounds in the world.
Yeah. You'll find something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the process. My other process that I've been liking lately is like just take time. Like I finished 2 tracks on a deadline earlier this year, and I felt so stressed out by that. It was a track that's gonna be released, and the Apricity track that was on the in the charts, which was surprising to me. But I knew that there was a deadline for these labels, so I finished tracks, and that was really hard. And I feel like, well, one of them turned out good, but I don't think that is going to happen every time, because the other one, I'm like, oh God, I feel like if I had more time, I would have fixed all these things. But
Sure.
Make a VIP.
yeah, I will. And then, so now I'm like, I don't need to release these tracks. I can just like tinker with them and do new stuff, and I can you know what I mean? And come back to it in a week, and whatever sounds wrong, I'll fix that. And then I keep doing that until it sounds pretty good. And take time with each element, like, just what am I like like this melody that I'm working on for this drum and bass track, it just kind of didn't sound perfect, and I'm like, well, there's a million combinations, and I don't have to go through all of them, but like I can just rearrange it and not work on it a million all day and see if I like one better than the other, and save them all and just pick the best one, you know?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to put out a track a month after you start it. I mean, also I feel like there's you could also get stuck in that, but if you're not in a hurry, I think it's a good idea to just like play with tracks a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How do you know you're at a point where your track is done? Like the mix is done, let's throw a master on it and get it out.
Let's see. I will play it out a lot. And if I feel like, because my mastering skills are not, I haven't put any effort into them, but I can like make it loud enough so it's good. So if like I'm playing a track out and I'm like, people are continuing to move and it seems like it carries energy, then I'm like, okay, it's good enough. And if nothing really bothers me, if I'm like, because I'm definitely critiquing my tracks as they're playing live too.
Do you before you like release, perform the track out before to see how it goes? Because I think that's the cool thing about dance music is that if you're making it, it's good. I think that's the biggest litmus test is people moving to it before like it sounds good in your car, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I will. I mean, I released a couple tracks where I didn't play them out for like a couple shows before, and I felt like I regretted it. So I try to keep it. I try to perform them live at least a couple times. So I'm like, this doesn't work. I don't want it out, or this does. Yeah,
that's a very good point too. Like open mics or throwing a little house party for your friends just to test out tracks that you want to put out into the world. That's I feel like that's a really important part of releasing music.
Yes. And I'm going to plug something. Can I plug?
Of course, yeah.
Shamelessly, let's go.
The Unified Theory Collective, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
They do a Thursday nights once a month where you can test your tracks out and you sign up. And it's like early. It's like 6:30 p.m. Thursday.
Yeah.
Sign up and they have a sound set. It's just for people to test their tracks out on a big system.
Yeah.
So
we were talking to Rob about that.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's part of that as well.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's so great. I want to go down there sometime. Just because I think that's an awesome idea. So,
and it sounds like they have more than just like a sound system. They have like art supplies and stuff too for like literally any type of creativity that you want to do while you're there, which sounds so fun.
That's cool. I have seen that. Yeah. I was there for the Epoch show and have I been there? Oh, and then I was there for my friend Dave Allison's EP release party too.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I saw they have art supplies. That's so cool.
Yeah. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Do you have any advice for an up and coming artist that wants to get into DJing or start producing their own tracks?
Just do it. I mean,
true.
Get the DDJ whatever, the little Pioneer thing, because that's fine and it's gonna
like
teach you
mixer.
Yeah, it'll teach you what you need to know and get used to it. Also, this is for like established artists, but like ask if your friends want to get involved and be a mentor if you have time and stuff like that, because I think it can be a little intimidating.
Yeah.
But yeah, or if you're new, ask your friends and find somebody who's willing to help you out if you have any questions. I'm willing to help people out if they have questions. And I think just like with Ableton, there's a 3-month trial for like the whole suite. I know. So you could actually figure out if you like it or not in 3 months, as long as you kind of set a schedule for yourself.
Yeah. It is very daunting sometimes.
Yeah. Or, come to Slam Academy.
There you go. Less daunting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would say just do it. Like, I think there's no harm in trying it out and adopting that. I think if you want to take it to the next level, maybe there's some like boundaries that are always good to set. But it is just art and it releases dopamine in your brain, and you don't have to be amazing at it to have that happen. And you can still find joy in creating. And if you don't want to DJ live, or you just are thinking about it, it's still fine to buy tracks that you love and get to know things on a different level. So you can like do it in your basement forever if you want, or you can, at Mechanics, we always love like booking. I mean, I'm doing the 8:30 slot because residents do too, but we like booking people who have never played out before for the 8:30 slot if they want to, because it's like, this is what it's like to play on this type of system, and it's nice to help people understand if they want to do that or not.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a really cool platform to bring in new people so
For
they
sure.
can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also find a controller on Facebook Marketplace. It's super cheap. People get rid of people take up the hobby a lot.
Yeah,
I literally
exactly.
just did
Yeah,
that.
do it. Like totally. Yeah. I mean, I have friends who got the RX1, which is like a really nice standalone mixer for like dirt cheap because a lot of, you know what? You might be selling it later too, but
It doesn't hurt to try. You know?
It's not the most expensive hobby in the world, and tracks only cost like $1. So
Yeah.
you know,
exactly.
And you can just find random USBs laying everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Have a house party. I guarantee you there will be 3 there for you.
So how do you crate dig besides grabbing other people's USBs? I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm on some promo lists, so I try to download as much as possible from people who get me like music of theirs, and sometimes it's really good. Like sometimes it's just some guy. Like I mean, I try if it's somebody being pushy, maybe not, but like you know, I know that they're from San Francisco and they've had a couple tracks on labels, and they'll just send me some tracks. So that's cool. Bandcamp, I really try to make sure that other people like DM me and they're like, this guy, like Oak City slums in LA, just makes a bunch of juke and footwork, and like he's not really, I mean, he's on some labels, but he's not like touring or anything. So just talking to people, finding people on Bandcamp, trying to alert. I have a couple jungle friends who are like, oh my God, this guy on Bandcamp's really sick. And like, he's got these tracks. So I don't know, just trying to stay involved in the community and getting, advice and recommendations from other artists. Yeah.
Cool. Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Powerful thing.
Definitely.
Do you do any vinyl sets?
My last vinyl set was in March of 2020. And the turntables in our house were set up, but then we had to like rearrange our basement for the Twitch sets because they were, it was like, there's a camera here and like we had to use like the whole back half of our basement, and the turntables went away and they never came out. So man, the last time I played on vinyl was at my friend Mike's house, and it was all his vinyl. So I like didn't know it. And I like did okay, but it is something that I don't do that often anymore. And I used to be like, I don't know, very, very like competent at it. So
nice.
Yeah. So unfortunately, no, I don't know.
Are you just playing on CDJs now? Yeah.
Okay. CDJs or mostly CDJs, XDJs, whatever. I mean, anything Pioneer, really, I guess. So, but yeah.
Sure. Is that record box then? Like, you have to use okay.
Do you have your own CDJs?
Yes.
Nice.
We bought 3Ks because we usually, nowadays, when you go somewhere, you almost always have 4 decks. And so with drum and bass, it is nice to line up a couple just because the tracks go so fast, and having 2 up a lot is fun. So we just wanted to make sure that we had the setup that we play on.
Yeah, we can practice, and you need at least 3 nowadays.
Yeah,
because if you lock in 2 and they're so good, you don't want to like have to stop that.
Yeah,
it's like
it's like a race till the end. Like when it's just 2, I feel like pulling it out with grace and finesse is like just as much of a skill as like keeping 3 up, because it's like, how am I going to get this track out without people noticing? And then loading another one and putting it up. So like 3 is just way easier for me.
Yeah. A little more flexible. More flexible.
So how do you promote the shows that you're doing these days? Do you just post on social media?
Yeah, I wish I were better at this. I'm very disorganized. I have friends who have managers and set up schedules for them, and I don't do that. I don't do schedules or anything, and I am like renegade, like whenever I feel like it. But I just make sure that I have like one Instagram post with all of the information ahead of time, and then I'm doing multiple stories for a show, and like 2 or 3 Facebook posts and TikTok. I don't know. It's a lot. I don't know. Social media and promo is a fucking insane undertaking. I don't know. I'm still like, how do you do this?
I just want to sell CDs out of my trunk.
I'm sure. I think people I don't know. I think there's people who are like more organized and more professional who are like, she looks like a shit show. And there's people who like don't promote as much and they're like, wow, she promotes a lot. So I don't know.
It's so hard to find that balance.
Yeah. I don't know.
But having posts up on social media, like, you're doing great.
Oh, thanks.
You know, like,
Yeah.
people know where your show is. Like, that's all they need to know, right? Like,
yeah. I think reels are really helpful, to be honest. I think reels are awesome if you can get some good content on there. Everyone's got a different thing. I guess for promo, it's like if it doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel like your personality, just don't do it because that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's really exhausting really fast.
Yeah.
So it's different from what you're doing now from what you did when you first started your music career.
Yeah, because I mean, I was on Facebook, or I don't know, maybe it was MySpace. I just like,
Sure.
I don't even know what we did. I didn't really bother promoting as much. It was more word of mouth back then, I think, in like the mid 2000s. People knew about our shows, but I mean, I think we still had hard flyers for every show. And Mechanics, we do hard flyers too, but just because we all think it works. But that was all. And, you know, Facebook, which I feel like back then it wasn't like the promo machine that it is now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah. But I think it's important to be confident in yourself. Like, just assume that people want to hear about your stuff.
Mhm.
You know, don't be like afraid to throw your
Right.
stuff out there.
Yeah.
That was a really hard part of getting started in music for me, is just like telling people about my stuff.
Yeah.
Because it feels so weird to be like, come to this thing, listen to this song. I did this thing. But then you realize that people actually want to listen to your music and go out to shows.
Yeah.
Because that's what humans do, is we listen to music and we go out to shows. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I can be a part of this too.
And yeah, like looking at other stuff, like if I see people like with a little, you know, promo shot of them and like what they're doing, it just looks like what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like you can take like there's like like a stress and critiquing, so, you know, criticism, but mostly it's just you like playing games with yourself, I think.
Yeah.
And also there are people who don't like seeing it because they're like, oh, I'm not doing that. But then it's like, well, then you have to you have to play the game too then. Sorry.
Yeah.
You gotta do something.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I mean,
But only if you want to, though. Like,
yes,
you
right.
get to play the game that you want to play.
Totally. And some people, it's like they're waffling, like, I want to make music, but I'm not a brand and I'm not an artist. But I'm like,
Sure.
but then if other people promoting themselves makes you feel bad, then like you gotta figure that out. Then you're not happy.
You gotta go inward.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is a problem. I mean, I feel like, yeah, with the way Facebook is, I think everybody knows that it's like skewed towards certain people, and we all get the brunt of that. Sometimes we're like, I can't reach anybody, and I have no support.
Facebook.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, Instagram, I think, is way better, but I think Instagram does that too. They do.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
And TikTok, and I don't know. Are you guys? I still post on Facebook too.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I'm kind of anti-Facebook, but that's just because everything on there for me is just not. It's like family members from back home in Wisconsin, and like, like I don't need you to see this, although it's cool.
Yeah,
but like it's not really the market audience that I'm going for anyway. So I kind of just, I don't know. I lean away from Facebook, and I deleted TikTok just because I was personally spending too much time scrolling.
There you go.
And then I just felt like numb when I came out of a 3-hour hole. I was like, whoa, this is bad.
I know, it's so addicting.
I need to get rid of it.
I'm not on it that much. I'm whatever. I mean, choose your poison.
I know, right?
Did you delete TikTok? Those reels are nice, though. You know?
Yeah. Now I just spend all my time scrolling on Instagram
that are from
reels.
TikTok.
That are from TikTok.
You delete them Instagram reels. Those YouTube shorts are pretty dope. Just kidding.
Can't escape.
No.
Anyway,
And then your friend is just showing you, like, look at this TikTok. Like, and I'm like,
just need to put blinders on. It's like what that bird, like the bird. What's that show called, or the movie with Sandra Bullock?
Oh, no. know.
Yeah. They're blindfolded.
Because it's like your worst nightmare. Like that's what you have to go around if like social media is like your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember what that movie was called, but I know what you're talking about.
Never mind. Tangent.
We love tangents here. Yeah, I don't know. I think we got to wrap up pretty soon.
Yeah.
But do you have any other questions for Miss Symmetry?
No, I think we've nailed most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We have one more that we'd like to ask as we land this podcast of a plane. So is there anything, any advice or anything you'd like to say to the Slam community or people out in the internet watching?
So you got to just do you, no matter what facet of this business is. Like if you are playing music, got to play music you like. You can expand your tastes or whatever to see, to like meet some needs, but like overall don't pander to people because everyone can. I just feel like that's so transparent. People can actually see that. And then people can see that in promo, people can see that in everything. So, and it's really hard to like keep that facade up, I think. And I think I've grappled with it and I've had conversations with other people about this too, where they have ideas and they think it's weird. You just got to try it. If like, I mean, run it by. Sounding boards are good too. Like, don't just be, I don't know. Don't think you're going to be validated if you're like totally insane all the time. But, I trying to be somebody that you're not or trying to fit somebody else. It's like, that's not going to work. Like, I'm not another female artist. I'm not that person. I'm just me. And like, just do what's comfortable because, I don't know. That's the only way. It's already hard, even when you're working to do that. So I don't know.
A really good point.
And balance. Have some balance. Find some activities that are, quiet and have some friends who are not in the scene. And just try to find hobbies that aren't music too. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So
the balance part.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here today and talking all things music and Jen Symmetry. We really enjoyed getting to know more about you too.
I had so much fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yay.
Yeah.
Everybody go follow Jen Symmetry on all things.
Yep.
Links will be in the bio. Links will be in all the stuff. So
yeah.
Thank you for coming by. Bye everybody in the SlamCast.
Bye.
Thanks for watching SlamCast. Wasn't that a fun episode?
Want to become a member at Slam Academy? Go to slamacademy.com for more information.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.